Popcorn World.
Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of a can. But to make it rhyme world, man, the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, Steve Major. At power forward, Al B. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five. Yo, what's going on, people? The Five back in the building. Bringing in the 6 men off the pitch tonight. In addition to everybody else, we got the crew full and ready and accounted for. We all up in her. What's going on, people?
What's up?
How's everybody feeling tonight?
Good.
Yeah, man. Don't let this cold distract you. It's temporary, they say. Although it seems to be coming quite often. I don't like it. I don't like it. All this ice and whatnot. It's not for me. So Al, Jesse, y'all can have that back if y'all need it. I feel like y'all need it. You know what I'm saying? Squad, what's going on? How's everybody feeling? It seems like
Everybody seems sad. Did y'all wait on me to say something? What's going on?
I'm telling you, that cold hit different, man. That's what it is.
What's up, Al? Long time no see.
What's happening, fam?
Yeah, the weather outside make it just
Everybody throwing out.
Yeah, man.
We got some stuff to talk about today, fellas.
We do. We got a few little things.
we start with Russia.
We're not gonna do Russia tonight. We decided to hold off on that one.
Okay. We're gonna start with Daniel. We started with Daniel Jones.
We definitely not starting with that. That trade is not even complete, and that's tampering. So let's just let's hold off on that. We don't want to
talk about A-Rod going to the coach then. What y'all want to talk about?
Well, let's start right here with the breaking news of Brian Flores joining the Steelers staff. Mike Tomlin and the Rooney family, I want to give credit where credit is due, decided, listen, we're going to practice what we preach. It's called the Rooney Rule for a reason. We're going to show you how it's done. And so they hired Brian Flores. Kind of, a lot of people saying they threw him a bone, but I don't really have a problem with that personally. But what do y'all think about the Rooney family and Mike Tomlin bringing in Brian Flores?
I mean, it's a assistant coach. I mean, it's no different than all the other coaches that are out there. It's not like they gave him a head coaching position. So tell me what makes this any different than any other black assistant coach that's been hired.
Ooh, Reggie coming in hot already. Okay.
I stuff you need to get out of his chest, man.
No, I'm just saying. If you think about it, is it any different?
I mean, no, but he didn't have a job at all.
Well, I mean,
and it was chance he wasn't going to have a job.
Yeah, he could have very well been blackballed or iced out or So him getting a job, and with
Blackball.
Mike
I mean,
him getting a job with Mike Tomlin, at least the man is employed while he fights that other battle. So
Right.
kudos to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin.
I just think he's a great coach. And I think he's shown he's a great coach. And I think he learned under a great coach, whatever we want to talk about the tree. I mean, but there's I think good on the Roonies. But man, I wish it was any other team. Any other team that, doesn't show loyalty to their coaches, right? And hold on to them for generations. Any other team that didn't have the literal rule named after itself. Any other team that, wasn't one of the non-problems in the NFL and hasn't been a problem in this category in the NFL for over a decade. You know what I mean? I wish it was somebody else.
see,
Well,
I agree with him totally. No, that's what I'm saying. I agree. If it was another team or a head coaching position, I think it will be, more exciting or more,
There's no progress made by it.
Exactly.
We didn't make any. We didn't move forward at all. We moved back. Brian Flores is no longer a head coach,
Right.
And we didn't hire a new black head coach or even a new black assistant on any other team, right? That we went straight to the only team that doesn't have the problem right now, and that's.
But I'm gonna say this though. What I do love about the move is that it keeps Brian Flores' name in front of everybody. Like, you can't just act like he don't exist. He's gonna be on the sideline for the next 17, 18 weeks next season. And so you can't get him out the league. Like we know some of those owners want it. Get him out of the way, a la Colin Kaepernick, out of sight, out of mind. He's not our problem. Let's move on. Now you can't move on that easy. Now you still gotta at least acknowledge that he's still around. Somebody still gotta cut him a check each week.
I believe he would have got it coordinated. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm sorry, Reggie. I was just gonna say, but Lloyd, we talk about all the time that talent trumps or talent equals tolerance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
so the amount of talent and value you're bringing to the table, the more tolerant an organization will be with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time and time again. So why wouldn't we assume the same would hold with Brian Flores? Amazing amount of talent.
Right.
He's out there to be grabbed. You know that it's not a competitive market for him right now, but you know the value he brings. Wouldn't one person reach out and say,
Yeah, but this is a league that makes sausage. And nobody's supposed to know how the sausage is made. And Brian stood up on the table and said, hey, they're not even using real pork products.
I think
I really think that's the biggest story of the week regarding Brian Flores, though. The fact that it came out that he didn't sign his NDA, right, which is what would have guaranteed him millions of dollars back from the Dolphins, right? And that's how they secure your silence through the NDA for anything, right?
Right.
And the fact that it came out this week that he didn't sign that and gave up millions of dollars to be able to go public,
Right. That's pretty good. Al, what would you
I was
say?
just going to say, you and I talked earlier this week. My stance is very similar, Reg. It's a shame that he doesn't have the helm of one of 32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's deserving of that. However, I do commend Pittsburgh for saying, hey, we know what we got in him. We're going to take, to hell with the conflict and the possible controversy. We're going to reach out to this man and bring him on board. So kudos to Pittsburgh for at least doing that.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I can't get my head around why there wasn't one of any other of the other 31 teams, right? That didn't see the same value. I mean, there's no we're taking a chance on Flores. I hope he comes back from his injury or he doesn't get convicted in court. What chance on what? Right? He's going to be 100% available, right? There's no lawsuits pending against him. But it's frustrating, right?
I'm gonna be a little have a little devil advocacy here because I think he could have got a coordinator job anywhere. To be honest with you, I don't think he was blackballed from the league. I think more teams would have took him as a coordinator, but I think they was looking at him more as a head. He wanted a head coaching position. I think when the jobs filled up and Pittsburgh saw he was out there, let's grab him for something. I really believe he wasn't black. I think he would have got a job as a coordinator, not as a head coach. After what happened, I think he could have got blackballed as a head coach. I believe he would have. I believe he would have got back as a coordinator.
Is he better than Lovie Smith?
His record say he is.
What do you mean better?
As far as Lovie is a better coach, as far as a better fit for that team than Lovie the pick.
For what team?
For
Texans?
Houston.
I mean, Lovie took the Bears to the Super Bowl.
They might not have been able to trade Watson if they brought Flores in. He
We
might
might-
have told
we
them,
might-
I want to keep Watson.
Yeah, we might be talking about who makes Spam better at this point. Because, like, the Texans suck. And they're going to suck for a while. So, I don't know. Is he better? Well, I don't know.
Well, out of the jobs that were, people were hired already, and then he dropped the lawsuit. I'm just going by the openings that were actually available at that time. Texas.
No, I get what you're saying. I get the question. I'm just saying we're talking about a team that's not very good and not going to be good for quite some time. So,
well, Lord, you can't say that. I mean, you really can't say he can't. They're not going to be good for quite. I mean, as long as they're behind, they're going to always be behind the coach. We know that. So,
I mean, say it again.
You never know. I mean, if Lovey can come in there and win the locker room, if they get some players in, you never know. They can. They
were competitive. You're right. They were competitive, but I'm looking at the way they run their franchise, and I'm just saying they don't
opportunity.
Yeah, it's not a well-run franchise. So I keep wondering, can you like Cutcliffe? I thought he did phenomenal considering the way they run their franchise. So, but they're not going to stop running the franchise. So whoever comes in there is going to be working around that. So
can we say 7 years ago we were talking about this team being very competitive? Wasn't that 7 years ago? About 6-7 years ago?
But was that because of the franchise or because of the coaching and because of the talent? They have a lot of talent.
But you just said, Lord, that they're not a well-run franchise. So if they separate the franchise and you're saying the coach and they're bringing in,
but to go back 7 years, Reggie, and ignore the 7 years is not the right strategy. Let's look at the 7 years. How they've given up. What's my man? Not before D Hop was there. That was a phenomenal receiver. Y'all know
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson, D Hop, JJ Watt. Now, they've given up a lot over the last 7 years for the sake of what? What did they gain from it? They haven't gained anything from that. So let's agree then that the last 7 years have not been the best. Can we do that? I'm just asking. Unless you see something I don't see.
We agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't think it's a very well. But I can't. But then that's like the pot calling the kettle black because come on. I look at my own last 10 years.
Hey, we also may not know what's going on with Brian Flores.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, Tomlin, Mike Tomlin.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, now see, that's an interesting twist.
I mean, Tomlin may move up to the front office. He may want to change scenery after 10, 15 years.
Might be a handoff.
He told him that, and Brian Flores has something worked out where he knows in a year or two, right?
That's
how long has he been there? He's been there 10 years.
Yeah, he also may have something worked out with Bill and the Patriots, given that former relationship. And Bill's like, hey, go somewhere for a year or two. Steelers are great, right?
Bill Owen won at least.
Why are you laughing, Cam? Why are you laughing?
Because I just don't think none of this even matters. Like I'm gonna go back to the beginning. We went backwards on this.
Okay.
The NFL got it wrong once again. And,
yeah. Well, that's for sure.
And it's sad. I mean, I don't want to talk about the portfolio of what he did in Miami, but for just the last 2 years alone, you're talking about competitive in the AFC. You're talking about probably the only coach to beat Bill Belichick in such a short span that many times. Like it's ridiculous. And like
Yeah,
I was really hoping the NFL would step up and do something totally different. I can't tell you what they would have done. I can't even tell you what they could have done. But I was hoping if this was the NBA, Silver would have did something like out of this world. You know what I mean? I just hate that. I just feel like we went backwards, and it's okay. Like it's being okay by the league right now. So I hope everything. I hope the floodgates open up with this whole thing. I'm telling you, I want some people to. I want some more John Grudens. Let me just say that.
Well, the thing that we need in the NFL, I don't know if we're gonna get, but we can sure pray it.
Apparently, Jesus.
We need a whole turnover on the ownerships, and until we get that, I don't know how we get to.
I agree with you, but I think that's only because we have to force it from the top. You know, we have to force like-minded people to make decisions that are best for people that are like them, right?
Very true.
Like it's not that you can't find 31 completely non-racist owners, right, that can't make smart choices and good social decisions and act, you know, as a good social citizen. So,
and I won't say 31. That's a little strong. I'll 28, 24.
Hey, Flores did just get backed by one of the most powerful ownership groups in the NFL, though.
Absolutely.
To go through all this stuff. Yeah, he's got the Steelers in his back pocket. That's a good thing for him.
Yeah. All right. The other breaking news story that we got today, Kemba Walker to sit the rest of the season. What happened? Like,
yeah, he should have been on the trading block. He
was on the trading block.
I mean, they should have went ahead and tried to get something done because
Chad, we work it into every trade agreement. When we trade a point guard to a new team, for the first 3 years with that team, they're not allowed to average more than 30 games a year. We put it in the Kyrie contract. We put it in the Gordon Hayward deal, right? We definitely got it in the Kemba contract, right?
Man.
wow.
It's the only way you can trade inside the division. I mean, it just is.
It's a weird. I'm just kind of shocked that Kemba is not wanted. Like, to me, it seems
Kemba is wanted. His money is not wanted.
Well, that's not Kimba's fault.
No, I didn't say it was, but nobody gonna pick that kind of a contract up. That's a lot of that's some bad money, bro.
Yeah.
How much is he making, Jess?
It's over 38 to 40.
So he's in the same situation as John Wall. Nobody wants that contract.
Nobody wants the Westbrook contract either, but somebody traded
they're
for
paying it.
Yeah.
But they're paying it. They still paying it.
Well, he got picked up by that was through a trade with the Knicks, wasn't it? He didn't go as a free agent, did he?
No, I thought he got traded from the.
He got traded.
You know what? He might be he may have signed as a free agent, actually.
Oh, he did.
He did. He went back home. I think that's what it was.
That's what it was.
He's only making $8 million this year.
Oh, wow.
Well, whatever he's making, they're still sitting him. They set him down and put him in a suit so he's making money while he's sitting on the sideline in a suit.
Is this Thibodeau? Like, I don't know.
Well, let me just say this.
Thibodeau don't do good with point guards. He never have. This is a Thibodeau thing.
Thibodeau, his pattern seems to be amazing first year that he's there, and then the love is over. And then it starts to deteriorate slowly after that.
I think
you know why?
Thibodeau has a lot of the old school mentality, and he's playing with this newer generation, and that's a hard mix sometimes.
Well, Reggie, me and you have beat this bush before.
Right.
Thibodeau's best years was an assistant coach specializing in defense for the Celtics in their championship years. Everybody's not a head coach.
Right.
And I think that style that he brings to the table, like to Reggie's point, wears on you. Like that first year, you see immediate results because it's so shocking to everybody else. Right. You go, oh man, it was good, it's working. But then that second and third year, players are like, look, man, you're killing us. Like it's a lot to have to. What you're asking for is a lot, and
he
I
hasn't
think-
adapted to with coaching. He hasn't adapted to this new style
He
of
hasn't.
basketball. And it's a whole different game from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The game is played totally different.
So he's the Mike McCarthy
yeah.
of the NBA.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't know how to adapt.
Don't put those things together. All New York sports stink. That's what that is.
You don't have to do that. That was unnecessary. I feel
I would have said the Dan Quinn of the NBA, but
Oh man.
I just say that because I see a Yankee hat in here somewhere. That's
Dan
all
Quinn
I'm saying.
adapts, doesn't he? Doesn't Dan Quinn adapt?
not to Tom Brady.
Wow.
He adapts as
All
an
right.
assistant coach, not a head coach.
Oh my goodness.
Once again, everybody's not a head coach. I'm telling you.
That's true. All right, well, listen, let's go to the final
Love you,
developing story. This is not a breaking story yet, but it is a developing one because the mayor of New York said he hopes that he can bring an end to the New York mask mandate and vaccine mandate in the coming weeks. So if that is true, that would affect all New York workers who have not been vaccinated in New York City, which would include one Kyrie Irving. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
I give you my thoughts. If this thing get lifted, I'm picking the Nets to go to the finals. Straight up. I don't care about you thinking like that, man. Don't mean nothing to me. I'm picking the Nets.
To go to the finals?
I'm picking the Nets to go to the finals. They got the best. They got arguably the best player in basketball. They arguably got one of the best finishers in basketball.
That's not arguable anymore, by the way.
Okay, and they arguably got one of the best defenders from 1 to 4, 1 to 5 on their team. They finally got a big man that they've been needing for the last 4 years. They got a lot of firepower now coming off the bench.
Excuse me. They got two big men. Let's call it. They got two big men.
Yeah, he disrespect LaMarcus. You're right.
No, I did not. I apologize. Stop that. Don't do that. Well, you did that third there, didn't you?
Right.
And they just signed Drazen as well too.
And they just signed
Dragic.
Dragic. So now you got a Dragic, you got a Patty Mills, you got a Curry, you got a Drummond, you got an Aldridge, who all we want you to do is play about 22 minutes a game, whatever that is. You got the best player in basketball. You got the best finisher in basketball. If they can put all these pieces together, and I say put the pieces together, they can play.
And when Kevin Durant coming back again?
I don't care what you want to say. When is Chris
No,
Paul?
I'm just asking when's he coming back?
After the All-Star game, so sometime this week. When is Chris Paul coming back?
Kevin Durant's coming back this week?
I'm just saying.
That's what you heard? That's what you hear?
Hey,
When is Simmons?
I ain't heard that.
When is Simmons supposed to play?
they both supposed to play early March.
Oh, okay.
Today is the 20th. What? I don't know.
20.
So it's all gonna magically come together.
It don't have to. It don't have to be magic when you got somebody on the basketball court as dominant as Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. It don't have to be magic. You can play off those guys, a la LeBron and AD. You can play off those guys.
Okay, all right. Listen, I like the confidence. I don't know if I believe in the vision, but I like the confidence.
It's definitely a huge get for the Nets to be able to get Kyrie back full time. So I think it would be definitely an advantage for them to gain some continuity before the playoffs and try to go deep in the playoffs. So I think it's definitely beneficial for them to be able to
When's
have
he
him
coming
back.
back again? When's he coming back again? You said early March. Is what I heard.
I mean, with those three, they can make a deep playoff run.
I like how everybody just feels like this is just gonna magically come together. Like
We didn't say that, Lloyd.
I didn't
you
say
just
finals.
said, you
We
said
didn't say magically come together. I said if you got somebody like Kevin Durant and Kyrie
You fine.
Irving, everybody can play a part of that. That's what I'm saying.
And they have role
You've seen that
players.
happen. Wait. Haven't you seen that happen before the last so many years with the Lakers? They ain't never been healthy.
Not this
So
year.
when they are healthy, they seem to come together
Right.
in the bubble. So
Right.
ain't that the same thing?
Lakers
No,
will
it's not
look
the
really
same.
good on
What?
paper in September.
Hey, why is it not the same thing? Let me ask you that.
because those teams that you're talking about, they at least had a training camp together. They
So-
at least had some games longer than just a couple of weeks together. You're saying that with 25 games left in the season, that they're not going to play 25 games together. They're going to play more like first of all, we don't know when the mask mandate is going to be lifted. We don't know that.
Call it
It could
15, whatever.
What you saying?
Call it 15 games then.
So you're saying that with 15 games together at the end of the season, they're going to somehow be able to now pull all this together and make a deep run into June.
Let me say this. Let me just say this. Health is not a problem. Once KD come back, health is not
always a problem.
Health is not the issue. Once KD come back, hear me out. Health is not the issue. You can take Steph Curry right now. You can take the top 5 players in the NBA right now and put them wherever you want to put them at. They will put the team together. They will come behind that whatever that player is. The top 5 players, superstars. They got superstar power. Is what I'm saying.
If you're saying if health is not an issue,
I'm saying if once KD come back, I'm not even talking about Joe Harris. He don't have to play no more. I didn't even mention him a while ago. The people they got with KD, yeah, I do believe that.
If everybody stays healthy.
Hey, if that's the case, we need to stop talking about Milwaukee then in the East because they having health issues too, and we keep saying that they're going back.
Well, let's be clear. Health always is an issue, Cam.
Okay, I hear you.
Listen, can we look at listen? I noticed that I'm the only one wearing Lakers gear today. You know why? Because you've given up, and the reason why you've given up is because of our health issues.
No, sir. This is the record.
I'm messing with you.
This is the show Black History Month. This is what this is.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yes.
You're so sweet. I love you. And
hey, Ken, where'd you get that shirt?
You want to explain what that means?
No, go ahead.
No, I'll let the sports junkies do it right here.
I don't have no idea what it means.
I see you looking at it though. I see you putting your hands
looking at it. Are we gonna get to it, or are we gonna just pause? Like,
I'm waiting to see if somebody else wants to try it.
Oh, okay. Apparently not. So go ahead.
Those are the numbers of the first starting 5 all-black team in NBA history, and they happen to play for the Boston Celtics.
I knew that's where we were going.
So by the way, Jesse, I wore my sweatshirt for you today.
Wait a minute, what just happened?
Jesse know why I wore the suite. This sweatshirt is my alumni, one of the all-time Celtics great, top 75.
Top 75.
Alumni, and I wore for Jesse today.
Oh my goodness.
Who am I talking about? Who am I talking about, Chad?
Why you
singling
me out?
I'm trying to give you some history here. We're throwing history out, and I wore for Jesse. So who am I talking about?
Teach me, man.
The chief brother, Robert Parrish.
Robert Parrish, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
He did look. He did look nice this weekend. He was
I was gonna say he looked
definitely aged.
Can I tell y'all a quick story? So when I signed was sitting there, I walked in there. I said, because I'm a rebounding king. I love it. That was part of my game. I walked in there and saw his records, and I was like, I'm good on that. Trying to break his records. He averaged about 20-something rebounds a game.
Oh, you said you lowered that expectation quickly.
I was like, I'm good on that.
Oh my goodness.
So you're number 2. You number 2, huh?
No. It was a couple more guys that played in centenary history that, yeah.
You did well, Red. That's what you
did well. I can't.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah. All right.
Didn't Larry Robinson go to?
Larry Robinson was there. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we're gonna get back to this this inflammatory behavior that Cam is displaying today. We do have a question that will encompass.
Hey man,
that.
my stuff can't be that way just because you don't agree with it.
Well, you're right. You're right. That's fair. But
hey, can I ask you something? And I want you to answer this real quick without thinking. Who do you got coming out of the East?
Right now, Milwaukee.
They got injury problems.
I don't want
to hear it.
No, Cam, that's not different.
Hold on. Although I recognize that I am totally disrespecting Miami, who probably is the one I should have picked.
Who probably has injury
issues. It doesn't matter who you pick, Lloyd. Look, if you're Milwaukee, are you scared of the Nets if they're healthy and everybody's on the court? Miami, are you scared of the Nets?
Not if I'm Milwaukee.
Everybody's healthy
wow.
Not if I'm Milwaukee. I just won a title.
I would love to see that Eastern Conference Final. If I'm the NBA, that's what I want. If both teams are healthy, I want Milwaukee in
Oh yeah, that's the money shot.
No,
Yeah.
no, you
We
don't.
got
You want
Brooklyn
Brooklyn,
in
Philly. Stop it.
You got to
Yeah,
talk to the
Brooklyn,
ref.
Philly.
I
Oh,
got to talk to the refs on that one.
Stop it,
Reggie. Yeah, Reggie, come on down.
Dude,
Philly is
Reggie.
not going
Okay,
in.
can we say it this way, Reggie? Can we say it this way? The sports fan in us would love to see Brooklyn, Milwaukee, because Giannis, KD could be fun. But the drama is
Oh,
First of
my
all,
God.
first of
the
all,
ratings is Brooklyn,
first of
Philly
all, if Brooklyn is healthy, it will be a sweep.
against Philly.
Yes.
No.
Yes. It will be a
Oh, Reggie.
I can't
I'm
say
calling
that.
it will be a sweep.
I can't say that.
Hold on, I know we got more show, but I gotta hear
We'll
this.
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
The disrespect.
I'm
Talk about it.
disrespecting them. It will be a sweep. You just said it yourself. They're loaded. Brooklyn is
I didn't
loaded.
say a sweep though, Reggie.
Oh, my bad.
Reggie said a sweep. is what
My
he
bad.
said.
I'll give them one game.
Hey,
the word
this is
that
not.
came out
Hey,
of his
Reggie.
mouth.
This is not Kevin Durant, Klay Thomas, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. This ain't that now. They good.
That's not how you presented it, though. You
No,
presented
that's
it
not how I
they got the
presented
best
it. No,
of
that's
them.
not.
They got the best.
Oh man.
No,
That what you
I'm
said?
not saying-
They got
I'm
Damian
just trying
Jones,
to- I'm-
Saquon
Philly-
Barkley,
Philly's gotta-
Martinez. You been talking about them? That's
My
I
personal
presented that way.
opinion. I know
You
we
don't
got to
do that.
move
That's
on.
unnecessary.
My personal opinion: Philly cannot match up with Brooklyn.
Wow.
Number one. I love Harden. I love him.
No, you don't.
No, we don't. Let's be honest.
No, you don't, Reggie.
We don't love Hart.
But
That's now.
what he struggles is on the defensive end and deep in the playoffs, he struggles.
Yeah.
He just struggles in the playoffs. He's never been that dude in the playoffs.
Because Kyrie Irving is great in defense.
No, I said in count the playoffs. Tell me when you can count on Harden in the playoffs.
When can you count on Kyrie?
I didn't say nobody else. I said Harden. Answer that
When
question.
can you count on Kyrie? We can talk
I
about a bunch
didn't-
of point guards. We can talk about
Hold on,
Steph
hold on.
Curry. We can talk about a bunch of
Hello,
point guards.
Kyrie, you can't count on Kyrie. Ask
On
LBJ.
defense?
Ask LBJ.
On defense?
No, I said.
We're
count
talking
on
about
him.
Harden's defense.
Oh yeah, I'll take Kyrie better on
Right.
defense than Harden.
Well, I'll take a James Harden, and I'll take an Embiid, I'll take a Tobias Harris. I'll take them, man. I'll take them. Embiid playing like the MVP. I don't think it's a sweep though, Reggie. I would say Brooklyn.
I
but
said
that's-
I give you one. I said I give you one. That's all I can give you.
We coming back to that. Hey, we coming back to that for sure. I promise you that. Let's get to question one, but I promise you we coming back to that. We saw Juwan Howard. We saw what he did. They gave him 5 games. How you feel about it?
Excuse me.
I thought that was a season.
Excuse me.
Well, that's that remaining season.
Oh, okay.
They only got 5 games left. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can you before we have this conversation, can you give Chad the entire screen so he can tell us about his alumni, please? I want to hear what he got to say.
Sure.
I don't want him to say nothing after. I want to hear what he got to say.
Okay, you want to hear my thoughts? Okay. So after further review of the video 2 or 3 times,
Wow.
I feel like I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get out the way. He should not have put his hands on the other coach.
That ain't breaking news.
But the other coach should have never approached him and put his hands on him either. So I feel like, yes, he was the man's from South Side of Chicago. If you ever met somebody from Chicago, they got some tempers. So I feel like if the other coach would not have touched him, it may have gone different. If the other assistant coach wouldn't have said whatever he said, and nobody knows, it would have gone different. But I feel like, yes, he was wrong. He got the punishment he deserved. I mean, move
Chad,
forward.
did you just black-splain Juwan Howard's actions?
I did. I'm black, so that's all I can do, brother. That's
So,
all I
let
can
me
do.
ask you-
No,
That's all
horrible.
I can
to
do.
say,
I
man.
did not see that
horrible.
coming at
I'm
all.
rolling
That's horrible,
with my
Chad.
squad. I'm rolling with my squad.
Can I
Hey,
ask
man.
Chad a question since we're interviewing Chad?
We are. Yes.
Go ahead.
What does the head coach touching him does? Why does he slap the assistant coach? I'm
Because
trying
the
to figure
assistant-
out the assistant coach
assistant-
didn't touch him.
The assistant coach said something to him, which we all know. If you say the wrong thing at the right time, you might get hit in the head.
Stop it, Chad. Stop it.
Reggie, I done seen you on the basketball court. I know you can get heated, brother.
That's different though. That's different.
It's not different.
That is a
It's
lot
not.
of difference.
No,
You know why? Because he's not a head coach on the court. He's a player. He's a kid.
Hold on. And I'm gonna say it like this: as a
A
coach,
human is a human being, regardless.
That is
he's
not true,
mad because-
man.
he's mad because hey, I love Juwan. Don't get me wrong, but when wrong is wrong, wrong is wrong.
And I said that. I said
Yeah.
wrong.
He's mad because of a timeout. That's
what
why
it
he was
is.
mad in the beginning, right? As a coach, if you have your second string in the game and they're about to get a 10-second call, I'm gonna call a timeout too, because guess what? I'm teaching my second string backs up my first string. It's all game. It's always a teaching moment in the game. So if you're mad because I'm calling timeout, beat me then.
No, take it another step, Reggie. Take it another step. You're
Go
there.
ahead. Huh?
Take it one more step.
Duck.
If you're down 15 with 15 seconds left and you're full court pressing me,
Thank
then
you.
I can coach too. Okay?
Thank you.
Hold on, take it another step, Jesse.
Thank
Take
you.
it another step, Jesse. Jesse told me this week, if this is all about a timeout, well, why didn't he slap Chris Webber?
I'm done. The show is over. I'm
Wow.
done.
Wow.
That
Wow. Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
Chris, that was Jesse.
Wow.
I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done.
Wow.
It's over.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, like the dunk contest. It's over. It's over.
Al, what are your thoughts on this?
I just think, Juwan has to understand that it's bigger than him. It's bigger than his pride. It's bigger than his reputation. And I've heard arguments that, he's a man first. Well, his job as a coach is to teach these young men how to face adversity, to teach
Yes, sir.
these young men how to put their emotions in check, to teach these young men that you win in grace and you lose in grace.
Yeah.
And so he deserves what he got. I am so glad that he was not terminated. I don't think he deserved termination, but the suspension I think is suitable.
Well, they say this is his second time doing this. They say he went after a coach last year, but he didn't physically touch the coach. But he went after a coach last year.
Yeah.
This is horrible. This is, for me, this is horrible because you got kids. Because when you see after that, you saw the kids' demeanor change.
Exactly.
There's no place for that when you're trying to teach these. I don't care. We all men, Chad. No, these are kids. They are young men, but they looking at the leader, and if the leader is doing it,
Right.
Cam, I'm gonna use your line. Go forward even further, because here's where I landed on the whole thing. We are now in a culture where black coaches are being questioned as to whether or not they can handle the pressures that are tied to running big time programs, be they college or professional.
facts.
You just told them that we can't.
Facts.
That in and of itself is enough not to smack a ninja upside the head.
And that had nothing to do with the other coach.
Yeah, you might, there's a lot of people, everybody want to smack every day.
Right.
You just don't smack them. You got to not smack. I mean, this ain't got nothing to do with manhood. This ain't got to do with nothing being from the hood. This is just, you got to do better, bro. You got to do better.
Like
You
Al was saying though. Like Al was saying. So basically, you telling the kid if somebody do a flagrant foul on him, get up and start swinging, start fouling, or do whatever. Like that's what he.
You
That's
suck
what
it up, and when you get to the locker room, you tell your guys, man, tough loss.
Right.
You remember this. You take it with you. We're gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Maybe this year, but we're gonna see him again.
That's
Here's
You
the other
just
problem I
don't
had.
act out like that.
hey, that's spoken like a real Cowboy fan right there. I like that, Al. That's
See,
what's up.
and here's another problem I had. He gets to the interview after the game
And double
and he's
down.
complaining about a timeout.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, Juwan? Really?
Did you call off the press?
Yeah, because I'm
You
not
didn't
sure what
stop
that press is. I ain't never seen a 15-point down press.
Yeah,
So-
you didn't stop coaching, so why should
He
he?
stopped coaching, right?
And
Matter
saying
of
nothing
fact,
to Chris.
he had a second stream in the game. What else you want him to do? What else you want the dude to
Well,
do?
hey, we
You
on
want
a
to put
loop.
the water boy in the game?
We're on a loop now.
Yeah.
What's that?
It said we all on the loop now. We mad. We just mad. I am disappointed in Juwan. I genuinely like Juwan, and I think he has the potential to do great things in Michigan. But this was a fail. This is nothing but a fail, and it becomes an even bigger fail if you don't learn anything in these 5 games. If you're not at home thinking about how stupid that was, and you don't come back at the first press conference and say, "Hey man, I gathered my thoughts. I thought about what I did. Y'all ain't never got to worry about me doing it ever again." If your first press conference doesn't start that way, then it's still a fail.
If I'm Michigan, I'm requiring him to go to anger management.
Yeah, you got to teach
If
the
I'm
kids.
Michigan, I'm requiring them to go because this is not the first incident. Now I can see if this was the first incident. This is not. So I'm requiring him to go to anger management.
Yeah, see, we've been talking like it's an HR conference and like this is like any employee, right? Like every analogy we've used, you got to be a leader, you got to be a coach, you got to show these young men what to like. That can apply to anybody, but great power comes with great responsibility. And Juwan Howard is the face of a highly nationally recognized program, right? And he's getting paid a ton of money to do what he does, and that means a lot of faith and trust is imparted to him, right? And he signed that contract, and he owned that responsibility, and so I think you hold him to even a higher degree of standard and accountability than you would if any of us had done it. And I guarantee you, none of us think that or expect that we can walk into our boss's office tomorrow or a client's office tomorrow and slap them in the face for whatever reason and think we still have a job. Right. And yet he should be held to an even higher standard. Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the answer, and I'm not going to give an opinion, but I just think when you put it in context, it's a bad look, and we should expect that of him, but we should expect even more.
I agree.
And he's an alumni.
And I co-signed. I mean, if you're not smacking Chris Webber, then don't smack nobody. Clearly that did. Okay. Shout out to Chris Webber. All right. Number 2, we are headed to March Madness in 3 weeks. Who are your teams to look out for? Who are you looking at saying, man, first of all, shout out to LaFonso Ellis, who was on Believe in the ACC last week and gave me some cheat code stuff to look for. Stuff that I honestly, I know, but you don't remember. You're like, oh, that's right. That's a good point. So he talked about the guard play. He talked about no team has won a national championship in the last, I think he said 10 years that hadn't shot 40% from the 3-point line. So a lot of good stuff to think about. Who is meeting the criteria of your bracket so far, gentlemen?
Well, I'm not calling out a team right now because it's a bunch of teams, but I know I realized this. I watched Texas and Texas Tech play the other day. The average age of the two teams playing was what, 21, 22 years old?
Is that because of the transfer portal?
The transfer portal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think, man, one of the, like Baylor last year, Baylor was one of the older teams because that was in the tournament last year. And it showed towards the end. And it might show again this year. I mean, if you got I don't expect a team with a lot of freshmen to win this year. And that's just my opinion. So I'm gonna start with that, then I'm gonna look at my team.
Yeah. No, listen. I think that's a good thing to say because I think the transfer portal, without question, has become an equalizer. And the analogy I use, it's funny we having this conversation because I've been working with some kids that are trying to get recruited to go to college. And they're young and they don't have the best resumes, but they're really good kids, work hard. And their parents were getting frustrated. I said, well, listen, you got to understand. A coach that has $1 million job right now, he ain't got to go farm the kid no more. He ain't got to grow a kid, go grab some seeds and hope that it grows into something. Now he can just go to Costco and Sam's and get whatever he wants. And so that's what the transfer portal represents. I don't have to. I'm trying to keep my job. And so I'm not going to go bank on some freshman that might produce when I can go get a college kid that has a resume. And so we're seeing that play out in real time. So when you start looking at some of these older teams that have strong transfer resume teams, there's some merit to what you're saying, Reggie.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at some teams, and I feel like the teams that could make some noise. Arkansas, I think they'll make some noise. Let's see, Wisconsin, I think they'll make some noise. Alabama, I think they have a good team. And you can never forget the Dukes of the world and the Kansas. And I feel like Auburn also with Walker Kessler.
Well, let's stay there for a second and broaden that out a little bit, Chad, because you bring up an interesting point. Because right now, Joe Lunardi has the SEC with 6 teams in, the Big 10 with 9, the Big East with 7, the Big 12 with 6, the SEC with 6, and the ACC with 5. Although I don't agree with that 5 with the ACC at all. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that sounds about right?
As far as getting in, yeah, I think so. That sounds legit. With the exception ACC, I think ACC is going to be lucky to get 3 teams in because there's some more beating up to do with these last 3 games.
Right.
And so, and I you could see Louisville upsetting one of the top 4 teams. Just one game. They might show up for one game, and so if they show up and beat a Miami in the 3rd round of the tournament,
that's a horrible loss.
Exactly? That's a horrible loss for Miami, which is going to also reduce the chances of Miami getting at large. You know what I'm saying? So and you laughing, Cam. I'm not professing that Louisville is a great team, but they've shown even in the last few losses.
You think that was coaching?
Huh?
You think that was coaching?
What's that?
Where Louisville is right now?
Nah, I think I don't think it's coaching per se. I think it's leadership. They're not. He's Xing and Owen, but they don't have the drive. I dare say the heart.
They got athletes over there, though, man.
They do.
God.
Yeah. They just don't have the heart to compete, I think. So
the irony of Louisville right now is the irony of some of the other teams. The transfer portal is, like I said, it's Costco, it's Sam's. You might get what you need, but boy, if you're wrong, whoop, man, wrong is gonna cost you big time. Because now you got a kid who probably is only gonna spend a year in your program, and so it's a catch-22. The transfer portal is a catch-22, man. You might get what you need and turn around, or you might not.
You nailed it last Thursday morning, Lloyd. NCAA men's basketball and women's getting there, but men's basketball, it's no longer coaches are no longer farmers; they're shoppers.
Yeah.
So you nailed it with that.
Yeah.
So that being said, I can't agree with you on Alabama. The way they performed against Kentucky with Kentucky's top 2 producers on the bench. So, and I don't think Auburn's legit. So I'm just going to say, I think Gonzaga, of course,
right.
Texas Tech impressed me over the weekend. Texas Tech, I think, is going to be there in the end. So Arizona, I think, is legit. Kentucky, I think is legit, especially when Ty and the other guy comes back. So
Texas Tech is one of those teams you really don't want to meet in a tournament. They're just a hard-nosed, physical team.
That's crazy.
There's nothing impressive about them. They're not flashy. They're,
and they lost their coach, Reggie.
Yeah, and the thing is, I love them about them is they're great help. They have great help side defenders. What I mean, once they make that drive, you're going to see a second person there. They're going to force you to the baseline, and it's kind of it's Beard mentality. But is it Beard behind it, or was it assistant coach behind it?
I'm gonna just say this. First of all, I know breakups are hard. I get it, but the man left the cupboard completely stopped, and
he did.
So I don't know what y'all butthurt about, because the man. He didn't just up and leave you with nothing. He left you with a solid quality team that could make a run this year.
To be honest with you, no. they lost players. They lost some recruits, and they lost some players that transferred out.
No, that's true.
Yeah, one of the kids transferred to TCU.
That's
the kid
Peavy.
from Duncanville. Peavy from Duncanville transferred to TCU. They signed a kid out of Dallas who actually signed with Texas. Now he's going back to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So and then they lost, the kid that transferred from Georgetown. He should have stayed another year. I think he's in the Lakers system. Am I correct? The white kid that can jump.
McClung.
He should have stayed another year. But he's in y'all farm system. So
that doesn't matter. We don't care about that.
Yeah, they also.
He's with somebody else now. Actually,
Why did he leave Georgetown?
Because of Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
He wouldn't play him. Like he was starting. Patrick Ewing came in there and started bringing these other people and bring them off the bench and stuff.
Because players don't want to compete for a spot no more. They think if I transferred into your program, I am the prize and I should just walk into a spot off your bench. That's not, and they don't want to compete no more, man.
And then you go to Texas Tech and
You
go
can't
to the
just
Final
say
Four.
that and not attribute that quote to Reggie Love.
Listen, I know. Listen, shout out to Reggie Love who said it before. You're right, Reggie Love. You're right.
Well, with the teams that Reggie like the teams he was naming and stuff like that, I agree with some of those teams. But most of them, the ones Reggie said, nobody want to play Texas Tech. Nobody want to play Texas Tech. That's bottom line. But it's so spread it out this year. You have to watch out for you almost have to watch out for the regulars, and you got to throw Gonzaga in there. They've been there, like we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
But then you got to look out for people like Jamie Wright, because now the best coaches will eat you up now. Like strategy and coaching.
Yeah.
So I think it's a wide open field, but I like a.
I got a little fear for Purdue. That's another team to watch out for.
Yeah.
I like the big kid on the inside. And what's the
Not
ball?
football, Chad. We're talking basketball.
Yeah, I understand that. I was gonna say Purdue too. I still had some more people left to say, but Purdue.
So you know who's another interesting team, but I think they're actually making a run with a bunch of injuries. Is Houston? Houston has a bunch of injuries. If they didn't have those injuries, man, we will really be talking about Houston. So give Sampson some credit right now.
He's doing his thing, man. He done built something down there.
Yeah,
I like that. I like Sasser.
Yeah, I like Sasser. I'm with you on that one. I like him. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all one that is not on anybody's radar, but they're gonna quietly get into the tournament and they're gonna be a problem. And that's Murray State.
Oh yeah.
Murray State Racers, they got guard play. That doggone KJ Williams is for real. He might be the second coming of Ja. I mean, I don't know, but them jokers can play, man, and they are fearless. They do not care what your jersey says. They are coming at you for 40 minutes, and you better be prepared because you might end up going home. And then a one and done, that ain't one that you want to see. So whatever side right now, they are currently in Joe Lunardi's bracket. Murray State is currently tied to Kansas' future. Kansas don't want no parts of that. I'm just telling you, Kansas don't want no parts of that.
So if you had to pick right now, you pick your winner. Who is your winner right now?
Oh my God.
Right now.
Of the whole tournament?
Or the whole tournament. You got to pick right now. If somebody laid the bet right now.
We're not holding us to this today, right?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, he gonna take credit for it if it's right though.
Hell yeah.
I can't make that.
That Gonzaga have to break through at some point.
So that's what you're going with,
Like
Gonzaga?
at some point.
The Zags?
That would be my pick.
So Chad, you got Gonzaga?
That's hard, man. I gotta believe at some point they're gonna break through, but I don't know if this is
Well, Lloyd, what's going to change your mind between now and the end of the season?
that's the question.
If they win the last 3 or 4 games, if they win their conference tournament, like what?
My problem with Gonzaga today is my problem with Gonzaga historically. They stack up all of these beautiful wins in a conference that it's just okay. And so are they now? Last year, they looked like a championship team, like from start to finish. I don't know if they look like that team this year, but they're still stacking up those wins. I'll tell you this. I do believe in something that Shaq always says. In order for you to win, you must first learn to fail. And I believe at some point the lessons that Gonzaga as a program has learned, surely it's going to manifest at some point. Mark Few's lesson is going to be like, okay, I got it. I've seen it all now. I know how to coach through that. I know how to get my guys over the hump and push them to the top. And by the way, they may have the best player in college basketball on their team. So,
no.
And with all the things said, I don't know, man.
So who you got? I want to know who you got.
Do we look at their schedule?
They haven't ducked anybody this year.
We can do that every year, though, man.
I know. I'm not saying they're a bad team. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, thinking about this, do we look at their schedule? You know.
Listen, right now, here's what scares me about Gonzaga, especially the way Joe Lunardi has it laid out. He has them going, coming out of the West. They're the 1 seed, but guess who the 2 seed is? Texas Tech.
But
they beat Texas Tech on a neutral floor. I'm gonna say Gonzaga, but I'm not happy about it.
What you got, Reggie?
Oh man,
we not holding anybody to this today.
Albie, what you got? What you got?
I'm confident. I'm confident with saying Kentucky. If the confidence that that they're gaining with these injuries the last week and a half, 2 weeks, if they can roll that into the NCAA, I think Kentucky is the team to beat.
I'll say this about Kentucky. That kid, I can never pronounce his last name, Swishway, I don't know his last name, but Swishway, okay. He has played himself, in my humble opinion, to a minimum of mid-first round. That kid is a rebounding machine. He tracks the ball. Amazing.
Can we talk about his
12 to 15 foot jumper
has gotten better.
Tremendous.
Has gotten better. Yes.
Here's another team that people don't believe in and believe in. We can talk about Auburn. I know we talked about.
Is this your pick? You finna say?
No, I'm not finna pick Auburn. I'm just talking about you trying to get me to pick a team. I can't pick
you gotta pick a team, Reggie.
If who you got, Reggie?
Man, go to Jesse. Y'all didn't even ask Jesse yet.
Jesse, who you got?
Y'all gotta watch Reggie, because Reggie be matrix in that thing. Go to Jesse.
Oh man.
Yeah, Jesse, what y'all doing?
Who you got, Jess?
You're not held to anything today.
No, listen, here's the thing. I asked you a question earlier. I was like, well, what else do you need to see, right? Because there are only 3 or 4 games left in the regular season, right? And then there are the conference tournaments. So, what more are you going to see? What more do you get to see? What more do you have to see to pick a team?
Let me ask that question now, because I didn't answer you right.
No, but hold on. I think it goes the other way. When I'm thinking about my answer, I think there are some younger teams out there that are right in that, maybe they're not your first pick, but they might be your second or your third pick that if they play another 10, 12 games together between the end of the regular season, their conference tournament, and their first round game, which they're going to win easily, second round game, which they should win easily. Like those kind of teams like the Dukes, right, or the Kansases of the world, I could see them taking another leap, right, like they have all year, and end up being
well.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a real good answer that you've given us, Jesse. It has not resulted in the name of a team, but it is a real good answer. And so let me say this. Let me ask you. I'm gonna give you another extra second. Huh?
Has anybody seen Arizona play this year? I haven't got a chance to watch Arizona.
No.
I have not, but Joe Lunardi has this as the number 1 seed coming out the South.
That's my pick.
That's your pick? Okay. I'm gonna say this about what you said.
And Houston's my second pick.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because you said a good question or said a good statement. What I need to see from Gonzaga is a dominance that starts to look like real momentum. I don't feel like they have momentum. I feel like they're winning, but it doesn't feel like momentum. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't like you don't see the pieces truly coming together in a way that says, okay, they are like last year. I'm being honest with you, last year Gonzaga looked like they wasn't going to be beat.
Yeah.
And I thought even going into the night of the championship game, I'm like, I don't know if Baylor can beat this team. And then we found out Baylor's defense was actually much better than we thought it was. So I need to see that again. Gonzaga needs to bring that again. Momentum. And I haven't seen that in them yet. But I'm still going with them. I'm still going with them today. Now, I may not go with them when the brackets line up, but I'm going with them.
Exactly.
All right, Reggie. Chad, you've stalled long enough.
I said Gonzaga, and then, I'm going to throw Purdue in there right now.
Okay. All right. Let him have Purdue, y'all. Listen, Michigan's not an option anymore. So you got
You know what? If Duke can straighten out a few things, I'm gonna ride with Duke.
You going with Duke? Okay.
I'm gonna ride with Duke. If they
Sounds
can
like
That's not a bad pick.
It's not bad. Listen.
I'm gonna go Calipari.
Okay.
Yeah, Kentucky's a good pick. Kansas isn't a bad pick either.
Yeah.
I know when I'm talking about this Auburn thing. The only thing I don't like about Auburn has all the athletes. For some reason, their guard play is horrible.
Yeah.
And at first, I thought it was the main guard not coming back, but I've been watching them lately, and I don't know what it is. If you look at their talent from the big kid, I love the big kid in the middle, and I love the one kid is going to be a top 3 pick. I can't think of the kid's name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know we know what you're talking about.
And there's something about Auburn is missing, or they're not playing together. It's like more one-on-one ball.
I know exactly what it is,
Randy.
Huh?
I can tell you exactly what they're missing. They're missing it every year.
What's that?
They're missing their quarterback. Oh, we talking basketball, right? My bad. I'm sorry, my bad.
You talking about Pearl?
Let me tell you something. Auburn this year is the same as Houston last year. Houston last year was their big players were amazing. Their guards are terrible.
Right.
And that's kind of what Auburn is this year. Listen, if this was just a big situation, you'd have to put Auburn in the conversation. But because they got to find some guard play, and where is that going to come from? That's the X factor with them.
Is it me as their guards seem like they trying to do too much
Way
instead of
too
just
much.
running the offense?
But
And
that
that's
was
what
Houston last year.
But Arkansas guards ate them up. That's what really happened when Arkansas.
But that was Houston last year in the bubble. Their guard play was not great, but if they masked it enough until they couldn't mask it anymore, and then it finally caught up to them.
Hey, you guys know what the BPI is, right? The Basketball Power Index, right? Really advanced stats versus, coaches' rankings or anything like that. Auburn's 13th in the BPI right now.
Dude.
And by the way, on Joe Lunardi's bracket, number 1 in the East bracket.
Yeah.
Was that before the loss? They just took a loss to who did they lose?
That's as of today. So that's in real time. So
that was after.
Should be interesting.
I don't think Auburn makes the Sweet 16.
I don't either.
Ooh.
I don't either.
Ooh. Without seeing the brackets, you think that?
I don't think so either.
I think
they'll lose to somebody like Tennessee or
Tennessee. Now that's a sneaky good team too.
Murray State.
That is a sneaky
They'll
good
get
team.
caught and they'll lose. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But speaking of Tennessee, a guard, Scottie Pippen's son is starting to play a little bit. Have you been watching him?
Hey, listen, Scottie Pippen's son quietly also is playing himself right into the first round. He is the real deal. He just ain't got no help.
Yeah, or no, if he was his dad's height, if he had his dad's height.
Oh, if he's his dad, that'd be the number 1 pick in the draft. Yeah. But now let me say this. Dad, sophomore year, remember, sprung up
7 inches.
6-7 inches. So if he truly got his daddy's G's, there may be another growth spurt coming. So we'll see. All right. Let's move on.
Nobody knew about his daddy till the end either.
Right to the end, exactly. Okay, let's talk about this. Take my hat off. I need a collective today. How do we fix All-Star Weekend? Let's put the game aside because I think we can all agree the game was pretty good, right? But Saturday, Lord Jesus, how do we fix Saturday? Is there a way? First of all, let me say this. I rarely agree with everything Stephen A. Smith says. Like, he says a lot of shit, and I'm like, stop. You're an idiot. But I'm gonna tell you something. This idea that he had about a national dunking contest with just regular guys out there who can dunk, and then you willing it down to like a final 8 or whatever. I like that. I actually like that. Now, it goes against everything that the NBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be.
Right.
That's the only problem. We didn't pay to see randos dunking the ball. We paid to see the best of the best, the greatest talent, collection of talent on earth. So that's the part you wonder about. Go ahead, Al. You muted. Yeah. No, you muted, Al. There you go. You're good now.
Maybe if you bring the randoms in to compete against these NBA guys to motivate them to give their best. They don't want to be showed up by somebody not in the league. Because I honestly think the skills contest was mediocre.
Okay.
The 3-point contest,
I thought that was good.
was mediocre because of the competitors that were in it.
Okay.
It wasn't the best shooters. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And so the dunk contest, because of how horrible it was, it brought everything down Saturday. It was like an anchor. It drug everything down.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago, we were saying it was one of the best dunk contests that we ever seen.
Because it
That's
was.
Levine. That's Levine and Gordon.
Because it was. I mean, Jesus, that was amazing.
I've collectively never seen that many missed dunks in a high school practice.
Come to Texas.
True.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. That I don't know who picks the dunkers. That would be my starting question.
There you
Who
go.
picks the dunkers?
Okay, that's where I want to go to. That's
Okay.
my point. If you look at the past slam dunk contests, they were all good. 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. They was all, but they all had star power in them.
Right.
You had the best of the best. You had Michael Jordan, Kobe, Spud. Webb. You had the best players back there in the slam dunk. Dawkins. You had the best players in the Dominique, right?
Right.
Like LeBron, you a chump for that. Like you should have been in. You should have been in the slam dunk contest. Giannis should be in the slam dunk contest. Like all these high flyers, I don't care what dunk they do. The fact that they superstar, they star power, it would make the slam dunk contest way better. I'm telling you that right now.
Can I add something real quick? I can imagine Giannis going from the free throw line. You know how
With
you know
ease.
how hype that would be.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Reggie,
I mean,
Reggie,
go ahead,
Reggie,
Cam.
if you had right now, Reggie, right now, if you had Giannis, Levine, Gordon, if you had them three in the slam dunk contest right now, with a Morant, it's going to be box office just because of the star power.
Can I ask
With
a
a
question?
healthy Zion in it.
That's what I'm saying. That's
That's not gonna happen.
don't do this right now, Lord. Don't do this right now. Let him make
Not right now, Lord. Not right now, Lord.
Listen, when we get to question 4, I'll deal with your Zion comment. But let me say this. Here's the real problem with the dunking contest. Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Nobody's gonna do that for a few $1,000s. Let's just call it what it is. And I don't understand why it's so hard to get somebody to pony up $10 million or $5 million or whatever you need to pay a guy or $1 million.
But why do we gotta pay him?
right. It wasn't like that last. It wasn't like that before. That's what I'm saying.
To me, it should be just the pure love. Like Cam was saying, back in the day, they did it. Even 3 years ago, they did. The best dunkers was in there.
Because the players had something to prove back in the day. They don't have anything to prove now. They just think they come in here.
Were the best dunkers in there back in the day, 2 years ago?
Jordan had what to prove in the
Is
slam dunk contest.
Is Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine the best dunkers in the NBA?
Right now,
Yeah, they. I think they pretty much.
Man, Zach LaVine in the All-Star game was doing some nice dunks, even in the All-Star
Don't
game.
take that away from him. That ain't what I asked you though.
Best dunkers? Yeah, I would say yeah.
if you had a choice between Giannis, LeBron, Ja Morant,
I would not put LeBron in there now.
LeBron.
okay, we'll take
Yeah, I
LeBron
wouldn't
out.
either.
Okay, Giannis, Ja Morant,
The kid from Minnesota. I would want to see him right now.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon wouldn't be on that list.
Okay.
Aaron Gordon ended up on that list because there's nobody else that wanted to do it. Now we found out that Aaron Gordon is damn creative.
Well, we knew
That's
that in
the
college
thing.
too.
That's-
We knew
that's
that
the
in
thing.
college.
Yeah,
But that's my point.
yeah, we did.
There's
You don't
no
have to- I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, I say you don't have to be the best dunker, but you have to be creative. That's the thing. You have to be creative. As far as
But who are you betting on to be creative? You're betting on the guy.
I'm not betting on none of those guys to be
Because
creative.
here was the common thread of all the guys y'all mentioned: Dominique, Jordan, Kobe, Mitch Richmond, not Mitch Richmond, Jason Richardson. All those guys, they were also the best on their teams. So their work ethics matched what they were going to bring to the dunking contest, which is what we're not seeing now. No, with all due respect to Obi Toppin and Cole and all those guys, y'all just got to the league. So y'all ain't really even got a work ethic yet. Because it's clear y'all wasn't ready. I started out Cole Anthony on the Tim thing. That could have been, in theory, an amazing dunk if you would have actually done something in some Tims. Like if you would have really throw down some, like I saw a dunk of some high school kid where he went behind his back, through his legs, some crazy stuff that he did. Almost did he did a full 360, but it was an amazing dunk. Now, put Cole Anthony on that dunk in Tim's, now I give him a 50.
Hold up,
But,
and Cole, do you need to take 30 minutes to put him on? I'm just.
oh my God, it was unbelievable. Bro,
Even Matt-
it's before you come to the basketball court.
Yeah.
What are you
Even
doing?
Even Matt McClung, he could have been in the dunk contest.
Who?
I mean, Matt McClung that was with the Lakers, he could have been in the dunk contest.
Who?
Man, come on now. Come on.
My point of saying the who is,
But
who
people
won't
know him because of YouTube.
No,
You
let me
saying
make sure I
who?
understand what you just said.
He was
I
winning
left
hands
my
down.
house. I left my house in Podunk, wherever I live, to go to Cleveland in the snow to go see Matt McClung.
But he's been on YouTube, so people know him. People
I feel
know
you, dog. I feel you. But that ain't why I left my house. So
But
it goes back to what I said about the money.
Here's another. I'm sorry. Here's another problem with the dunk contest. They were trying to do too much. They trying to do too much. You think about Levine. Levine was a high flyer. He just got up in the air and he wasn't trying to do a triple 360 behind the bag, bring your brother outside and throw him up and put a nose on to me, they're doing too much, bro.
But I don't even mind you doing too much, Reggie, if you can do it.
I mean, but
The problem is you can't. They
yeah,
can't
you
do
got
it.
a point.
if you can do it, listen. That dunk that Aaron Gordon had where he sits in the air and throws the ball under his knee after grabbing the ball from the mascot, that's too much. But damn it looked amazing.
Hey, but look,
on the first try.
hey, look, I hate to say it. Show me you can jump on the free throw line. What? Show me you can do that.
But see, that's just it. There's that select group. I don't know. To me, I think if you go with the older guy or the guys that are established, you got to incentivize them. That's just, because the other side of not incentivizing them is what is now happening with Cole Anthony and Obi Toppin and Juan Toscano and all those guys. We killing them.
Right.
They killing them on every platform.
I think next year,
Toscano's not even the
I think
best
next
dunk
year
on
the
his
NBA
team.
is going to pick it up because the NBA got some pride. Because every media outlet around is talking bad about this dunk.
Oh, it was trash. It was so bad.
So I think the NBA is going to pick it up next year. They have to.
They have to.
Even if they have to throw $1 million out there on it, So
I think you got to incentivize them, bro. I think you got to put some money out there that makes sense. Either give the money to them or give the money like as old as LeBron is. If you told him, I'm going to give $1 million to your I Promise school if you get a dunk contest, that might be enough to get him there. That might be enough to
I
get him
don't
there.
think he'll do it.
I think his time was
$1
past.
million for that school. He loves that school, man. He loves that school.
His time is past, though. I don't think.
Well, I'm not. Listen, I don't want to get fixated on LeBron because that ain't who I want to see in the dunk contest no more. But I'm saying if you incentivize these
But
guys
that's your
to
player.
something that, well, you know what, Reggie, you don't have to do that.
I feel like Juan Toscano Anderson is not even the best dunker on hhis own team, so I don't know why he wouldn't.
Well, I don't know who's picking. I don't know who's picking these dunkers. Like, is it a hat? Is it a dartboard? Like, how are you deciding who gets it? Because I wouldn't have picked Juan Toscano to be in a dunking contest, and I would have picked Cole Anthony to be in a dunking contest.
It's probably a couple of white college bros at Barstool Sports.
Oh.
Hey, I would have got the kid. What's the rookie from Golden State? What's the
Kaminga, or even Gary.
Nobody going to Cleveland to see a Kaminga.
Well, that's true.
What about like they pick certain players, high profile players, to do like a 1-on-1 against each other?
No, they ain't doing that.
Like 1-on-1.
A one-on-one cut, like
like 1-on-1.
No,
they ain't doing it. That's too much. That's too much. Yeah,
that's too.
You'll be all over social
that
media
level of embarrassment.
But it would be nice to see, though. It'd be.
I mean, it'd be wonderful to see, but they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. I think you got to sit about it. But
y'all don't think the 3-point contest was good?
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was all right.
I thought it was enjoyed it. It wasn't like to Al's point. It wasn't the best. All of the best shooters.
So, I don't look at nothing but the All-Star game. Going back to what we just said about the contest, I want to see Larry Bird come out in the warm-up. I want to see Steph and Clay go at it. I want to see Dirk in it. Like I don't want to see Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, first of all, Steph said he didn't want it twice. What's the point of him getting?
But that's my thing though. It's me and Lloyd had an argument about this All-Star thing about LeBron shouldn't be a starter, and I'm like,
I agree. Yeah.
I'm like, he's a fan. It's a fan thing. It's the fan.
Exactly.
Okay, same thing with the 3-point contest. If it's supposed to be all about the fans, give the fans what they want.
That's true.
But I think they're trying.
About the fans.
But I think
the
NBA is trying. I think they're trying to give the fans they want. And the NBA players are like,
listen, LeBron, and when they had one of the All-Star games, and LeBron had teased the world because they knew the All-Star game was going to be in Dallas, and he was like, I'm going to be doing it next year. That's what the fans want. Give the fan if that's what it's about.
But if I'm making $300 million, is $25,000 gonna get me off my couch?
That's what the fan. But if it's what the fans want, why are you playing the All-Star game then?
Hey, and the dunk contest judges, the dunk contest judges would be like Mike, Dominique, Spud. I would have all them.
Give them what the fans want.
You might not be able to get them dudes no more after what we just saw. They might be like, I ain't coming back to this.
Who is
Y'all saw Kareem leave. Y'all saw Kareem leave, right?
Oh, yeah.
Grab his coat.
Well, you know, Kareem is pissed off at the NBA right now anyway. But if you think about it, if you had Steph, Klay Thomas, Devin Booker, whoever else you want in there, like everybody would be glued to the couch watching the All-Star game, watching the 3-point contest.
That's true.
And that's what I'm saying. If you give the fans what they want, that would be enough. That would be enough to fix the whole weekend.
I love the only thing I like now about All-Star Weekend is the up-and-coming stars game and the actual All-Star game. The rest of that stuff, I don't even pay attention to.
I do love the new format of the game. The new format is awesome.
I loved it.
I think that is outstanding.
And I tell you, to be honest with y'all, I really didn't want to watch the All-Star game, but then I watched it and I saw that new format.
But see, that only works in a close contest. Because if the West was up or Team LeBron was up by 15 and you added 24.
But I think that's the trick. I think they're gonna keep the first 3 quarters as a full-on exhibition, and then the last quarter because it's only 24 points. So it really plays into what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, you better hope Draymond ain't never healthy enough to play because he was getting at it. Come on, play like you want to win.
Well, it doesn't matter if he's healthy. He won't get voted in.
Hey, let's bring back
the West versus the East.
Say it again,
Why
Reggie.
can't we bring that back? Let's bring back West versus East. Let's bring back West versus East.
I love how they're doing it right now.
I think you can now because it's more balanced. But
that's what I'm saying. It's more
yeah,
balanced
it's
now.
way more balanced.
But
But
said
for a
Jesse
run there, it
James-
was ugly. It was ugly.
They do like Major League Baseball. Winning team gets home field advantage in the playoffs.
Hey, now.
That'll be.
Yeah, they'll make a play.
That'll be good.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Jesse, you were saying what Jesse didn't like the West versus East?
No, I think the NBA All-Star Game has an identity problem, and I think it thinks it knows what it wants, whether that's viewership or not, and it's testing out different paths to get there over the last 5 to 7 years, and eventually it'll end up in one of two places. It'll end up in the NHL camp, where the All-Star Game is primarily used for a break. It's a rest for players. And you can see that trend in the NBA. More and more players opting out of playing in the game or the festivities in order to get the rest. Or it's going to go the route of it, Major League Baseball, right? You go back to where it is, an East versus West. You have the rivalries continue to get embedded and heated, which perpetuates the playoff situation and eventually the finals. And it also means something. So now the All-Star Game, people want to play in it because it's going to have a deciding factor on something like home court advantage in the NBA championship. But I think you have to play in one of those two rounds. I don't think this, pure entertainment lane is going to work for the NBA, especially if the majority of its stars aren't going to participate.
Love it. All right, let's get to question number 4. How can the top teams survive their injury timetables? Which brings us to the first developing story that emerged today.
Hey, I didn't mean to kill the mood like that, by the way.
No, you did good. You did good, bro. You did good.
I'm going to go on 30-second timeout.
No, you did good, bro. You did good.
That's all right, Jesse. Hey, Jesse, I'm jumping in the car with you again. Don't worry about it.
No, you did good. You did good.
Reggie, wait till I get in timeout. You can't throw the money after that.
Oh, my goodness. JJ Redick ripped Zion Williams a new one today. I think it was First Take or
think so.
something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, he said there's a responsibility that you – well, this all stems from the comments that were made by C.J. McCollum this Saturday night. I don't know if y'all saw that. But C.J. McCollum said, I ain't heard from Zion Williamson. I haven't heard from him since I stepped foot into the locker room. And so JJ said there's a responsibility that you have as an athlete when you play a team sport to be fully invested. You're fully invested in your body, you're fully invested in your work, and you're fully invested in your teammates. That is your responsibility, and we have not seen that from Zion. Now, keep in mind, JJ was Zion Williams' teammate for the past 2 seasons. And then he ended it by saying this is a pattern of behavior with Zion that we are seeing again and again. I was his teammate, and I can describe him as a detached teammate, and that is an accurate statement. And by the way, JJ Redick said, I addressed this with Zion in front of the entire team. So this is not shade. He's just reiterating what he's already said. So go ahead. Go ahead. You got a timeout. Go ahead.
No, I look at it, I just want to caveat what I'm going to say by 3 things. The first is JJ didn't come out and just say this because, it hadn't been spurred, right? McCollum was saying, right?
Right.
He's
Absolutely.
reacting to a story as a journalist, right?
Yeah.
2, who's going to know better than Redick, right? Like he's speaking from firsthand experience, right? It's isn't like tossing anything aside. 3, Zion has given me 0 legs to stand on as a fan, right? Whereas JJ Redick, I remember a couple of moments, right? He got me moving. So and maybe a 4th. I also don't always agree with everything JJ Redick does, right? That being said, I think he's nailing everything we all thought we knew about Zion in one comment. And this is who you're going to get. If he doesn't want to be there, it's going to be a problem, right? He's not going to be a leader on his team. He's not going to make other people better, right? And you start putting those dominoes together, and this may be the final straw. And somebody's going to take a chance on him, obviously, but
New York.
Yeah, but what hope do they have? You know what I mean? Like, where's their solid confidence and faith in anything he's done that says he's going to do anything different?
And more information. The rumor right now is that he is going to be required to have another surgery because whatever has happened, and they're being very tight-lipped about the whole thing. But whatever has happened, it's not recovering. He's not recovering properly, and we all know why. I mean, listen, the elephant in the
It's
room.
a fat person problem. I'll be the first person.
I was gonna say, hey,
It's a
the
fake
elephant in the
gumbo.
room. The elephant in the room is that there's an elephant in the room. So,
No, there's an elephant on the fracture. That's the problem.
right. So listen.
Beignets, etouffee,
My
fried
only
chicken.
comment.
Well, I'm gonna
My
look at
only
it on the
comment
other
to JJ
side.
and then I'm gonna pass to you, Reggie. Is where's the lie?
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
look at
Reggie.
it on the other side. What if this kid, he's 21 years old, needing that elder NBA person to take him? Because let's be honest, New Orleans ain't had nobody to take him up on his wing. He might be one of those kids that need that. If everybody,
now.
this kid has been giving everything in the lifetime of basketball because of his athletic ability.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So when you get to the NBA, guess what? Everybody else has that same athletic ability. Everybody else has that same skill level. So what I'm saying is nobody let's take I know I'm kind of throwing stuff out, going left and right here. Let's take Moody, the kid that was drafted to to Golden State. He comes in, he wasn't a number one pick, but he has players like Curry and Clay and Draymond and people like that can take him under, that say, let me put my arms around you, young fella. You know, Zion has never had that. Zion's came in a rebuild organization that's traded their main guy who was the face of the franchise to the Lakers and brought in everything new, and you putting this all on the 20-year-old kid. Now, I'm not saying I'm right what I'm saying, but I'm looking at it on the other side. What if Zion is needing McCollum to reach out to him? What if JJ needed to, you know what? Let me go over here and sit down and play PlayStation with this kid. Let me see what he's thinking. Sometimes you have to go in that kid's world. So does he have some issues? Yes. Before we just knock him down to his knees, maybe he's needing that dude, that role model to put their arm around him.
Reggie, don't you think that's what CJ just did?
He said he haven't talked to him.
Why
I
do you
think
he
that's what
said
the
it?
call out was for.
No, why do you think he said it?
Right. I mean, maybe CJ needs to go to Portland, where he's at right now.
Reggie, you sound like an advocate for Kwame Brown. Zion got to grow.
No, I'm not saying nobody's wrong.
Zion-
I'm not saying nobody's wrong. I'm just looking at it on the other
Zion
side.
got to grow. Listen. JJ Redick said it perfectly. He said it perfectly because this has nothing to do with ethics, or this has nothing to do with needing leadership. This part is just all about, bro, we on the same team. This is all about the right thing to do. This has nothing to do with that. Now, you talking about his weight and all that stuff, Zion, and leadership. I really think something that could really help him right now, because he got so much superstar status written all over his face, is for him to sign with Clutch Sports because of the other people that's in Clutch Sports. LeBron is at the end of his career. So LeBron would download to any young kid that wanted. You know, the Ben Simmons can download the stuff that he just went through to say, hey, guy, you don't want to go about it this way. And if you look at all the people that Clutch got, they got some leaders out there, man. So I think it starts there. I think it hurt when they got rid of Van Gundy, because Van Gundy, look how he had to deal with Dwight all those years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That boy had two coaches, all kind of assistant coaches in 2 years. Come on, man. That's shame on New Orleans. Straight up.
And they let Phoenix coach go.
Shame on New Orleans. You know? And when you look at it, and going back to what Jesse say, JJ Redick he know what he's talking about. Listen, JJ Redick has single-handedly gave Alonzo Ball a lot of money. Because he's like, hey, guy, that shit you doing, shooting like that, come here, let me show you how to shoot. And he took this guy for a year and turned this guy into a 40% three-point shooter. Like, seriously. Yeah. So it's people out there that's probably trying to reach out to Zion, I would say. Yeah. But I think he's going about it the wrong way, man.
Al, what y'all think?
I'm kind of on the backside of Reggie. You know, He's a 21-year-old kid. I think, he just he's not ready to mature and do the things that are required to be successful in this league. And he needs a little extra encouragement, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, what everybody is saying, he needs definitely some guidance, and hopefully CJ can come in there and put his arm around him and be able to say, "Hey, I need you to be accountable, step it up." I mean, this is his last time with New Orleans. I think if you can't get it right in New Orleans, then you have to send him somewhere to get it right, and CJ take over New Orleans, and they get somebody back to be able to have that Pelicans franchise be able to do something.
This is a Zion. This is I hear what y'all saying. For me, this is a Zion thing. Even when you put him in Duke, when you put him with Cam Reddish, you put him with Jared Barrett, he was getting upset that Barrett was getting so much. Hey, Barrett was the number one player in the country too, by the way. He was getting so much backlog off of that. Like, but do y'all know who I am? Like, do it matter? You're on the team with these guys now. See, like he's always had an identity crisis problem. Take no name for it.
I know y'all know I can't stand it. This is a product of that AAU select basketball crap that goes on.
And Reggie,
they don't give a crap about these kids. They don't want to sit them down when they're not doing well or bench them or teach them. They just want to play them because.
But who frowns when you find out where you're going in the draft? No, ain't no other superstar doing that. They're like, I'm going to embrace this. Whoever, hey, no matter how they feel, they'll do that.
I disagree with you there, Cam. I've seen some facial expressions.
No. I'm talking about somebody that's supposed to take over the league. The Jordan, the Kobe, the whatever. And I'm just saying, you got to carry yourself a certain way because you are box office. You are.
Okay. Let me stop you right there because that's where I want to pick up because that's where I was going. Here's what I think we've discovered about Zion Williams, and it's the part that don't nobody want to talk about, but I think it's the truth. He's not box office. Here's what I mean by that.
We can say that now.
Right. We can say that now.
Right.
But maybe that was always there. And to Reggie's point, it's been masked behind the hype of Zion Williamson. Listen, we'll take a YouTube clip today and turn it into a viral video, which turns into a hype machine. And just because, listen, we just saw this in Louisville 2 years ago with a kid that they brought in recruiting, highly recruited. They said the kid was a 4-star. Aiden Iggy, I think was his last name. Oh my God! If you looked at his highlight tape, you think he was the next second coming. Then when you got him into Louisville, you found out that the guy didn't have a drop step, he didn't have a jump shot, he couldn't make a layup, he couldn't do nothing. He was just big. That's all he was. And so I think we're seeing now to not take anything away from Zion, he's skilled. They're not going to take that away from him. But here's the other side of it. He's also maybe not a number one player. Maybe he's not your number one. Maybe he's not your star player. Maybe he's your complimentary.
No.
Listen, how long has he been in New Orleans carrying the franchise? And how's it worked so far?
Do you know what kind of numbers he put up when he's healthy?
That don't mean you're a number one player, though.
No. He's box office, though. He is box. Hey, listen, we can say that
is he box office, or is he box office because the box office keeps telling us he's box office?
Listen, when the Lakers won the bubble that year, when every time that oh my God, it's Zion and LeBron, like he bagged up everything that was expected. Like
I think Zion Williamson is the product of
I hated that comparison.
But no. I'm not talking about the comparison, Reggie. I'm just talking about he bagged up the expectation of the game, the hype of the game, and all that.
Right.
He is New York Knicks. That's bottom line. That's what it is. He is New York Knicks.
That may or may not be true in the end because to be honest, it feels like it's where he's headed. But
to me, he's a more athletic Julius Randle coming out.
That's what I think. That's what I think. And And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You can spend 12, 15 years in the league doing that.
Didn't he set a record for the most doubles that start a year off as a rookie and all this kind of other stuff? I'm just saying we're talking about him being overhyped. He's bagged up what he's supposed to do
When he's on the court.
right. So has Kevin Durant when he's on the court. I'm saying when he's on the court.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But don't you do that then? We're talking about when he's on the court.
I mean, Mikhail, that's a terrible comparison.
No. What I'm saying, you said when he's on the court, as if that's anybody though.
No. I'm saying that on the court because you said he's carrying a franchise. He's
I
only
didn't say he was carrying a
for
franchise.
1 year.
I didn't say he was carrying a franchise. I never said that.
Okay, I'm saying I'm gonna say he's supposed to be carrying a franchise. He's only been on the court for 1 year.
Okay,
and that was even off and on.
Okay,
so you can't call him the man if you can't listen. The greatest ability is availability. He ain't never available.
I understand that.
Okay, and by the way, this ain't CJ McCollum's team. This is Zion Williams' team, according to everything that New Orleans.
You don't want to tell me that because I'm gonna say it's Brandon Ingram's team.
That's what I'm saying. It's Brandon Ingram.
This B.I.'s team.
Well, listen, it is the team of the guy that's available. That's for sure. That is for sure. I just think there's a lot of.
So you saying it's not Anthony Davis' team? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It definitely ain't Anthony Davis' damn team.
I'm just saying everything we've asked the guy to do. I'm just talking about playing basketball. I'm talking about on the back. I'm not talking about his mind frame on it. We talking about basketball when he's on the court.
Let's stay there because that's what we're talking about. Can the top teams survive their injury? We're talking about Anthony Davis. We're talking about Kevin Durant. We're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks and anybody else in there. And by the way, we're now talking about Phoenix with CP3. That's a massive. He will not play another regular season game.
That's big.
Chris Paul won't.
No, he's out 6 to 8 weeks.
And something in my heart is just like
he may not make it back until the first. Here's the reality of his injury. It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks for him to heal. Then I would have to believe it's going to take another week, possibly two, for him to get up to.
When did he hurt his hand? Because they
last game before the All-Star game.
When he got kicked out the game, Reggie. Remember when he hit the ref and he was holding his hand?
That's when he hurt.
That was that play.
He fractured it then. Yeah. So can these teams survive?
I think 3 of them can. Milwaukee, because they're starting to get healthy from their injuries.
Right.
I think Brooklyn can because if they only have one injury and he's supposed to be back, according to reporter Cam, first in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Both of them gonna be back.
Both of them be back. So I actually think Phoenix will survive because their backup point guard is not bad. I think and Booker will make sure. So I'm not saying I'm not saying they'll be first, but they'll be in the top 3 going into the playoffs in the West.
All that sounds good. And can you survive? It's about when these people get hurt. And we know who the most hurt franchise was at the beginning of the year. We know who that was, right? We can all agree.
Lakers.
No, we can say that Klay Thomas not playing for Golden State was the biggest.
Yeah, that was the.
And so they gave an opportunity for last year, this year for some people to play that nobody even thought about. So this has opened it up for the 2022 champs, Golden State Warriors. It ain't going to be close.
So you say it don't matter if these people can survive.
I don't think it matters because Golden State been losing. I hope anybody on the panel said, "Oh, they've been losing too." Yeah, okay, I understand that. They putting their stuff together. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I run them out there every game.
I think Golden State problem is, and this is not a big problem, is
inside.
I think they're letting those younger players play more than what they're playing. They're going to have to fix that issue because when you see them keeping Klay and them out there too long, I think they're getting in trouble because guess what, Klay, even though Klay is playing well on the offensive end, everybody, let's be honest with you. You can look at Klay. He's not like the old Klay just yet. He's still getting back.
Absolutely. That's why he's still out there.
So he still have to chase those younger guys on the defensive end. And they're going to have to figure that out, especially going into the playoffs. They're going to have to figure out that rotation.
Yeah, but you gotta ramp Klay up to some degree.
Yeah.
I think 30 minutes
Yeah,
is
I
about right.
understand that, but you still got to let those younger because you're gonna need that bench deep in that playoff.
No
You're gonna
question
need it.
about it. No question about it. To me, the person that's since we talking about Golden State, the person that's suffering the most behind it is Gary Payton II. He's the one that I think has lost a little bit of momentum in the return of
Poole,
Klay
I think
Thompson.
Poole lost a little bit.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan,
Poole's
yeah, no, I
But-
think Jordan's okay. I think he's fine. He's not getting the shots that he was getting, but I don't think it's horrible. It's not as bad as Gary. Gary kind of looks a little bit lost. Now, some of that might be Draymond not being out there kind of cheat coding it with, hey, Gary, get your ass over there, that kind of stuff. But I think they're going to be fine. I still think they're going to end up the number one. I think it's going to be tough for Phoenix to hold on to that number one spot.
Yeah,
Here at the end.
a lot of you guys saying the size and everything, but we got to remember that they still got Draymond out, and then Wiseman is supposed to be coming back within the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, but nobody know what a Wiseman is though.
Yeah, but
True.
yeah, you don't know what he is, but him being out there being a body and giving you something 5-10 points, couple blocks and rebounds.
JaVale McGee is a body.
Yeah, but we don't have JaVale McGee.
Eric Dampier is a body.
We got
That doesn't do nothing for me. We don't know what Wiseman is.
You just named 2 people that have championships.
Yeah, but they don't know what Wiseman is though. Nobody knows what Wiseman is.
Right, because he may not be either of those guys.
Yeah, we don't know what Wiseman is.
Yeah.
You banking on something that you don't know, Chad? Come on, stop, man.
Now, I tell you one thing, that Memphis team is scary.
Listen, that quiet as kept, that Memphis team might be the one that's going to make it to the final, to the Western Conference Finals against Golden State. Quiet as kept.
Is that your pick, Jason?
They look amazing. So,
and if Kevin Durant can come back from his injury, I'm just telling you,
you got
Is that kid from Denver? Is he ever coming back this year?
he hurt. Listen, man, Reggie, his back was broke in high school.
No, but Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray are on schedule to be cleared for games before the end of the regular season. So if Denver adds Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. to the playoffs, what happens when Victor Oladipo comes back from Miami?
Hey man, I ain't 100% sure Miami is not going to pull this thing off.
I mean, we all got injury things. Boy, that Joker Murray was playing pretty well before he got hurt, man. Murray
was killing it. He was killing it.
Oh man, I hated that kid got hurt.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think he was playing good while he had Harris next to him.
Jamal Murray?
Harris ain't there no more.
You don't like what they replaced him with, though?
No, I like what they had before.
I mean, they still competitive. They still right there in the mix.
I'm not saying they're not competitive. I'm not. They was in the mix. They was in the mix in the bubble too. I mean,
where does Houston? I mean, not Houston. Utah. Where does Houston? Utah.
Hey, Utah got some internal issues going on.
Yeah, I listen.
Big man and the star don't like each other. They got some issues going on.
Are somebody gonna leave? You think?
Oh, listen, it's Donovan Mitchell's
not
team.
This year.
It's Mitchell's team though. Get it right. And Dwayne Wade is there just to make sure that happens.
Yeah. And try to get his son. Hey, and to get his son in the league.
Well, that's gonna happen too. As we get to question 5, can the Lakers save their season? Talking about injuries.
They have like the toughest remaining schedule, so no.
The best thing Lakers can do is finish just outside of the play-in game and go ahead and spend some time with their loved ones and start resting up for next
year. Well, ain't this something? I'll be back on the show. Ain't this something?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Hey, Al, did you feel that way last year?
Nah.
You feel like we had a chance last year?
Yeah.
How far out are the Lakers from the?
Because we were equal with everybody last year. No, our injuries weren't any worse than anybody else. So
Hey, so why don't, hey, what
Lakers are in
place
the
is
playoffs
what
right
place is Brooklyn in right now?
5th, I think.
9th or 10th.
Oh,
Why don't
no,
we talk
Brooklyn
about-
is in 8th.
So why don't we talk about Brooklyn like we talk about the Lakers like right now? I'm just curious because they was
We
great
did talk
last
about
year
Brooklyn.
too.
We just talked about Brooklyn.
No. We didn't talk about them in the negative capacity that we talk about the Lakers.
Well,
No, because the Lakers aren't about to add Kyrie and Seth Curry and Andre Drummond and Ben Simmons to their roster.
And we
And
saw
also the Lakers have
we saw
Russell
what
Westbrook.
happened when the Lakers got healthy.
And the Lakers have Russell Westbrook.
I'm just soaking it all in. So when I start attacking people, I want to remember all this.
Yeah.
Where are you going to attack us
If you
on?
were
You know they got Russell
if you were
Westbrook.
adding half a
Hey,
Kyrie,
listen to me. Hold on. First of all, don't you say nothing to me because all I got to do is say Daniel Jones and break you down. So don't you say nothing
No,
to me.
you can't. Because I'll come back at you with Carson
Cam,
Wentz and
here's
break
the
you
problem.
back down.
Here's the problem, Cam.
Who would you rather have?
Look, Cam, the guy over the show, the one to put the question up here,
I did.
and that's your Laker counterpart.
It's not
But I'm
personal.
a
It's the
realist.
truth. It's the
I'm
truth.
a realist. I'm a
It's the
realist.
truth. It's the truth.
I think we're headed toward the as the boys and men would say, the end of the road. This is
Well, this is what
Lakers
you
won't make
listen,
the playoffs,
this
and
is-
they'll sit LeBron very
okay.
shortly.
But here we go again, and this is why I'm okay with any of this. This is why I'm okay with any of this. Once again, you got 6 people on this panel. We're talking about the Lakers. When the last time the Spurs won? When the last time Golden State?
doing that.
No, hold on. Can I just
Couple years
bro,
ago.
can I talk?
That's what Cam do.
A couple years ago.
Cam does that.
Hey,
Cam,
can I just talk? Can I
it's
just
not a
talk?
Spurs subject.
Can I talk? Can I just talk?
No.
When the last time anybody else's team on the panel? Hear me out. Hear me out. Reggie, you can talk about the playoff. Hold on, just hear me out. You can talk about the playoffs. Chad, you can talk about Golden State. If they would have kept Durant, we could do all this stuff. Here it is, though. The Lakers didn't win for 10 years. So everything they did broke the team up, which was dumb. I agree. We got Anthony Davis, but we won a championship out of it. So this is what's supposed to happen, though. Look
So
at the
it's gonna take
Mavericks. The
another 4
Mavericks.
years?
Listen. The Mavericks won a championship. Broke the team up. They hadn't even sniffed close
Should
again.
have kept Magic Johnson.
This is what happens. This is part of it. This is what happens. 3 years from now, we may get Booker. We may get the next big thing, and then here we go again. But this as a Laker person, this is what happened. We win a championship and we go all in. We trade all our assets. This is what happens.
Get Bronny
well, first
James.
of all, thank you, Cam, for this historical trip down memory lane, and we appreciate that.
You're
But
welcome.
that doesn't
You're
change
welcome.
the fact that they're not going to make the playoffs this year.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
I think they'll make the play-in
They'll
game.
make the play in.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
You know what? They're going to play the Spurs in the play-in game.
Oh my God.
Because
I don't think they're gonna make the
we only 2 or
play-in.
3 games behind you.
But look, here we go once again. Here we go once again. As a Laker fan, I don't give a damn when we don't have a chance to win it all. I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter to me.
To me,
But see,
the better
everybody
thing
else-
is
which
to
is
not
why
make
I
the
said
play-in.
they need to go on and mail it in,
Yes.
spend some time
LeBron
with their
talking about-
family.
LeBron
get some
talking about
rest.
having a parade for all 3 LA teams. He ain't care about no damn Lakers right now.
Would-
He
wouldn't
worried about
you-
He know, because he know what this
Ron
is.
you
said
take
keep
the-
the door open in Cleveland for him. I'm just telling you what he said.
Yeah, wouldn't you take the path that Golden State did and go ahead and mail it in and
They're
then
not
try to
that
get that
type
high
of-
They're not,
draft
that
pick?
type of, they're not that type of franchise.
Yeah,
Wait.
Well,
You
but
talking
I'm
about like
saying that
last
high
year?
draft
Chad, you talking
pick-
about last year? You talking about like last year?
I'm talking about this year. Well, as far as when we went down and got the high draft picks, I'm saying take this time, get those draft picks, and then flip them for something.
Yeah, when did you talking about mailing it in though? You talking about y'all mailed it in last year?
I'm talking about
They
when
don't
we
have
won like
any draft
15
picks,
games.
man.
I'm talking about when we won like 15 games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have another draft pick to 2027.
LeBron has too much. They have too much ego. They're not
Got
going to
too
do
much
that.
pride, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. Once again, it's a different organization. They're not going to do that.
Right. Now, and you
Very
know
true.
what? It was about 2 months ago. Me and Cam debated, and I thought about that. And Cam is right. That's just their type of organization. They're not Golden State and Spurs are similar type of organizations.
Inside.
They're the one that we're gonna sign the top free agents. We're gonna bring them in, and we might go 8 years and redo it again, or 5 years, or 3 years, whatever they decide. I'm not saying y'all going 8 years, but that's that type of organization they are. And I agree with
Win
you.
right now.
Yep.
Is win right now. So
Jesse in the same boat. The Celtics can get in the playoffs. They can barely get in there 7, 6 seed. He like, I don't give a damn. We ain't got a chance to win because we won so much. Like that don't mean nothing to us.
All right. Well, listen, before we get to the final thoughts of the night, we have closing breaking news.
I saw that.
Troy Aikman
Wow.
headed to
How much money did they pay
ESPN.
him? They paid him a couple of dollars. They paid him.
Oh, yeah,
$2
they're lacing him up. They're lacing him up. But I would imagine they're about to make another switch on Monday Night Football. Well, here's what I heard. So
I
here's the
know
rumor.
what they want.
And you know where I'm going with
I
this.
know what they want.
I think Al Michaels is also a free agent. So it appears to me that it's going to be Al Michaels and Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football, which, by the way, is fire. Now, that's not going to stop me from watching Peyton and Eli, but that's not a bad Monday Night Football booth right there.
Let me tell you what's going to be ultimate and what's going to be dominant. When you got in the booth, you got Troy Aikman and Tony Romo in the booth.
Nah, they ain't going to get Tony Romo too. You think they're going to get Tony Romo too?
Tony Romo is the greatest thing in the booth right now.
I thought rumor was that Al Michaels was who they were trying to get rid of.
That right in NBC, yes. That's not a rumor. I think that's in the works. Because I think when they brought Mike Tirico over, they let Mike know our goal is to transition him out.
No, he's done. He said it at was it the Super Bowl or?
So did he officially say he's done?
He said it was his last broadcast. Yeah.
Okay, so Al's probably going to ESPN to join Troy.
So what's Joe Buck gonna be doing? He's out.
Chilling.
Who cares?
No, I was saying that because that was Troy's buddy. So
Hey, you know who John Madden buddy was too, and they split that up.
How about a Joe Buck Tom Brady?
Is Tom Brady gonna be good?
I don't know. Maybe.
I
can't imagine he'd be
Hey
hard.
man, listen, I know Romo was fire though.
Yeah, I love Romo.
Romo was fire.
I can't even get that coming out of it. I love Romo. That doesn't sound right, but yeah, okay.
Al probably he don't like it either.
Well, he don't like Romo.
That's what I'm saying.
Romo.
He got all the answers, but he didn't have shit when he was in pads.
I did it too.
Don't get me going. We trying to wrap this thing up.
Hey, Al, before I get you started, they saying your current quarterback is like Romo now.
who said that?
I'm just saying that's the
Hey man, don't run my boy off. See, I told you to run him off. Wait, no man, Al.
Why you do that? Why you do
All
that?
right, Lord, I'm out.
You're right at the end of the program, but you did that.
I'm going to timeout. I'm gonna pull a Jesse. I'm going to timeout.
Wow.
All right,
Hey,
man.
can I dab that just a second? Are y'all a quarterback away, Al?
We got offensive line away.
Yeah, we got to rebuild that line. I think the quarterback's fine if he builds his confidence back up and they can protect him longer than 2.5 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all are head coach away.
You can win without a head coach
True.
because they just a figurehead. So McCarthy can stay there and we can still get the job done because he ain't.
They got three head coaches.
Jerry Jones,
Jerry don't care.
Kellen Moore.
And Mike McCarthy.
According to Jerry Jones, they got three head coaches right there on the staff. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's do some final thoughts, gentlemen. Who y'all giving y'all shout outs to this week?
Man, shout out to Prime Time. I was watching his YouTube show on today, and man, it was fire. It's fire. The way he talks to those kids and make them accountable, and just pours into them, make sure that they are the best representatives of themselves. It's definitely good, man. And
Well, listen,
definitely would support JSU, man.
Listen, shout out to that same thing. And by the way, we in the morning, we got Malachi Weidman from JSU joining us, who I believe also has a podcast on the Believe Network. If I'm not mistaken, I think he has a podcast on the Believe Network. So my podcast brother as well. So
That's fire.
Yeah, so that'll be a fun interview in the morning. Anybody else got some final thoughts?
The Chief. I gotta give it to him. 75, baby. Alumni. Robert Paris.
Okay.
No, just another shout out to nephew. He's working hard up there in Tampa. He's working hard, getting ready for that pro day.
It's gonna make a great New York Giant, man. I'm so excited.
When's the pro day? When is it?
April 1st.
Daniel Jones is gonna be his leader.
Devil's always busy.
That slipped out.
Devil is always busy.
Say it one more time, Lord. Say it one more time.
Devil.
So the church can hear it.
Oh my goodness.
You know, shout out to Steph Curry. I mean, he did it. That's just unbelievable. That is must see TV, dude.
Scary, man.
That's must see TV.
Scary, that dude.
Can you imagine them going to the finals against the Nets and you got Durant playing back against him now?
I would love it. I would love it. Would love it.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Hey, you know, sometimes the NBA may rig it to work that way.
Oh,
I'm joking, guys. I'm just messing.
Are we
just
You know the refs.
And I don't know if y'all seen. I don't know if y'all seen the new and improved. And I hate talking about him too. But man, Luka has dropped some weight, and Luka is acting a fool. And I'm telling you, maybe it was the Porzingis thing. Hey, happy guy now, right? Your star is happy, like. But the Mavs have moved up the board, man. They was behind us. Them boys like in what 5th seed right now, something like that.
Yeah, 5th seed, yeah.
That ain't saying too much now.
My shout out
Well,
going
the West
to,
it is.
I'm messing with you, Kel.
my shout out is going to Ernie Johnson. That in bars he spit honoring the 75. So
yeah, that was nice.
You get my shout out.
Yeah,
that was nice. That was nice. If you hadn't seen that, go to YouTube.
MCE.
Check it out. Yeah.
I love seeing Dirk up there, by the way.
Yeah. Jesse, who you got? Reggie? Or you said the Chiefs, Reggie. I mean, Jesse, who you got?
Shout out to every player in every league that wants to leave and join the broadcast booth. I mean, as soon as Romo signed a 10-year, $180 million deal, it kind of opens doors for prominent players that are 30 and don't want to go through another 10 years of punishment in the league to find a different avenue to success. So, yeah, I mean, when they're paying $18 million a year to sit in a broadcast booth, like, how many players are going to be left? And then, you know, second shout out would be to the next.
Oh, he froze on us.
Because he was talking crazy.
Yeah.
I've been with all that truth.
Yeah, let's talk about some TV money. You know what I mean?
We didn't hear nothing. You just
hear that you froze up on us on that last one.
You said something about switching to being a Laker fan, and then we heard nothing else.
No, I said shout out to the NFL the next time the collective bargaining agreement comes up because, you know, going off the first point, that's way too much TV money if you're paying the announcers more than you're paying the players.
True.
Well, listen, my shout out is very easy and simple. I want to give a tremendous shout out to the great Charlie Ward, who is killing them in Florida right now. He's just won the district. I think he won his first game in the regionals, and he's headed toward a couple more wins. So they got a solid squad this year. And then I also want to give a shout out to my squad who took an L last night. Western Warriors got out of the regionals a little earlier than they anticipated. But I'm telling you, it's a young squad, no seniors on the team, and they're learning.
They got one.
Well, they got one. I don't know how much he plays, but they don't. They're a young team and they're figuring it out. Best record in the history of the school, I think it was 23-4 this year.
Oh, nice.
So we're moving in the right direction. So I'm proud of the boys for doing what they did. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
Hey,
all right, people.
Real quick.
Oh.
High school tournaments have started.
Yes.
Yes.
Pay attention to Duncanville and Richardson.
When is that game?
Huh?
When is that Duncanville and Richardson?
Hopefully that Duncanville Richardson game will be.
Well, it won't be down the line. If McKinney beats South Grand Prairie on Friday, then McKinney will play Richardson, which will be a good one. So that's going to be a good one.
That will be a good one.
If you
And
guys
then-
decide to go, if y'all decide to go, y'all let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Okay.
That's what's up.
I'll keep you updated. McKinney beat South, but McKinney plays South Grand Prairie on Friday, so they need to win that one. So,
I went last night for the Seguin and Wyatt game because it was
How
in
was that?
Mansfield. It was right
Yeah.
there. So
Yes, sir.
let me know. Y'all keep me.
All right,
let me know.
Cool. I guess that's it, gentlemen. We've done all we can do, all the damage we can do here tonight. So it's been real, man.
Also,
Yeah, so-
hold on. Thank you for everybody that's listening and watching, and to us, we definitely appreciate it, man.
Oh
So,
yeah, and those
so-
stars, man. Please, thank you for showing the love on those stars. We appreciate it. That is so cool. And keep them coming, man. We appreciate everything y'all do for us here at the 5. So, man, it's been a good night. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We're back to do it all over again next week. That's Chad. That's Al. That's Reggie. That's Cam. That's Jesse. I'm your boy. We out.
Will get you 10 when you're plugging in with the there's no mystery. Let's make history with the off the show. 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me into the 5.